Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Corsi, and I'm the CEO of Marathons International. I've been in the telecom sector for quite a few years now, and basically seen a lot of things change over the past number of years. And I think most critically, what's happened over the past couple of years is that the telecom industry has completely changed. The current situation with manufacturing in different countries of technology, specifically products made in certain countries in Asia, certain trade wars around the world, the cost of shipping goods, the cost of a container, the chipset situation has led a number of companies to relook at the whole manufacturing direction and the strategy that they have. So what's important to explain for us as a company is that our goal since the beginning has been to develop technology in Africa, for Africa, and for the rest of the world. And this is an important step because what we really wanted to do is ensure that we have high quality products for the local market and also allow us to expand our footprint to other markets around the world. I think in short, Marathons is the company that develops, manufactures, and launches smart devices in the factories that we currently have, and is also looking at expanding in other markets. The reason why we chose to build in Africa and put a major footprint in the African countries is really because of the opportunity that the continent delivers to us. There is still millions, there's about 300 million devices, smart devices that are sold per year in the total Middle East Africa continent. A lot of that push is really allowing consumers to touch devices for the first time in their lives. And what we try to do is not just look at a model where we would be importing products from somewhere else to service this market, but really manufacturing on the continent and in a variety of different countries. The reason is that to be successful in manufacturing and to be able to take advantage of this technological leap that's happening on the continent, you really need to be in tune with your local market. You really need to be able to address the local market, and that's why we've actually put factories in Rwanda and South Africa to be able to address the markets. So overall, there is opportunity in other parts of the world that we're starting to look at. But the first step in a manufacturing technology manufacturing company is obviously to be able to address the local market and the local needs. Recently, we've seen a big surge in the direction of 4G, and many countries and operators are pushing to a stronger 4G network and working on strategies around 4G. But at the same time, there is a lot of in the continent, a lot of opportunities around 3G that we've been developing. And our goal has been to develop a roadmap that addresses these needs. And now working on a new roadmap, the 2022 and 2023 roadmap, that addresses the Middle Africa needs, as well as developing products that we can launch in other markets like the US and in Europe. But again, back down to my first key point, you need to make sure that you can address your local markets and that you develop products for the local needs, and that you become a brand that is significant and that is powerful in your local market. If you look at a number of other competitors in the technology sector on the hardware side and the manufacturing side, a number of Chinese manufacturers, many of them do not venture outside of China until they've established themselves as a strong competitor in the country. There are maybe one or two exceptions to that rule, but in general, the goal is really to be a strong player within your backyard, and then start venturing across other parts of the world. And our long-term goal is based on this, is really to make sure that we make the statement that in the technology sector, that we want to make a strong statement around the Made in Africa area. Until now, there have not been a lot of brands that have been able, in the technology sector, to be able to say Made in Africa and export to the world. And our goal as Mara Phones is really to base on that. We want to be able to sell to the local markets. We want to make a strong statement out of the Made in Africa part to it in the technology sector. And then we also want to be able to utilize a situation that has developed over the past year where global companies and other countries and the tech sector is looking for other sites of manufacturing. And I think it's about time that we not only look at the continent and the certain countries of what we can sell into the market, but what we can also export from there in the technology sector. It is quite a strenuous process because we have to make sure that our quality, our manufacturing, our price points, our technology, our relationships with our suppliers is as good as any other technology manufacturer. And the goal is to basically bring a product to the market that stands in terms of quality and in terms of tech capabilities as strong, if not stronger, than other competitors. And it takes a lot of work. It's a long process. And now I believe we're in the right at the right time to take that leap of making the Made in Africa technology for also export to the world. And we've started to see from a number of different potential customers outside of the continent that they want to be able to rely on second and third countries in terms of sourcing for technology. And we started making some inroads with a number of different clients around the world who are looking to not just buy technology from certain areas in Asia, but buying technology also from with a Made in Africa standpoint. So over the past, we started off with 2 manufacturing plants, one in Rwanda and one in South Africa. In general, the focus is really to have the South African plant focus and manage the local requirements in the country and probably some of the surrounding countries. The Rwanda plant is really looking at the local country and also some of the export business. And the goal is really to expand on that and touch a number of other markets around the region after we've become strong in our backyard. So it's a big work around the development of the roadmap and its continuous understanding of the requirements of the market. We've developed one roadmap in the past year. Now we're working on our next roadmap. And the whole point is that you need to be able to look ahead in terms of technology. You need to look ahead in terms of what's going to be expected in the next few quarters. You need to make sure that you're able to fit into certain of the requirements of the operators of the countries. There's a whole set of elements around having the right bands for export, having the right type of technology for export, not developing a product that by the time it comes to market in another market, it'll be maybe a little bit too old, or the sweet spot of pricing will not be perfect. So you're always trying to make sure that you're strong in your local market, but you're looking ahead to your potential export markets who are relying on you and expecting to develop this Made in Africa technological future. So you're constantly working on your roadmap, your pricing, and your future, making sure that you're able to advance forward and launch a number of different products. In the technology sector, one thing that we need to take into account is obviously that in the mobile phone business, phones have a relatively short period that they should be in the market, and the life cycle of a phone these days, years ago, was maybe a year or two. Now it's gone down to 8 or 9 months. So you need to be able to constantly adapt yourselves and launch a number of new products. And this obviously puts a strain on the manufacturing. It puts a strain on the sourcing, and you need to be able to very well manage the future and make sure you're able to launch the right products on time, end of life them, launch a new one on time, end of life it, launch another one. So it's a constant battle and constant work to manage your portfolio based on your local markets and your potential export markets that are moving, especially in the technology sector, extremely quickly. In terms of support that is required to build local manufacturing plants in Africa, you do need to obviously rely on the local government sector. You need to have a close relationship with the ministries. You need to be able to look and tap into opportunities in each one of the markets where you would potentially be able to gain certain tenders around the education center or education in tablets or overall technology. So the interaction that you have as a technology company with the local markets and the ministry should be good. Again, the whole point is that we are able to provide the market with a robust quality, high quality technological product, but also be in certain discussions because we are a local brand. And we see this opportunity that has developed in Rwanda quite a bit. We're looking at these types of opportunities in markets like South Africa. And in the future, if we are where we do have a roadmap of potentially localizing in other markets, we're going to always be working closely with the operators in each one of the countries, with ministries to look at potential opportunities and to leverage this made in Africa, made in the local country opportunity. On top of that, I think when looking at the different types of factories that you may be developing, what we have learned is that we have one factory that might be in a smaller country that is also able to manage certain export opportunities, which we're managing in that way. And then we'll have another factory that is much more focused on the local opportunities and maybe less on the export opportunities moving ahead. But as I said, again, in the technology sector, right now, between having a robust product on 3G, a robust product on 4G to capture the opportunities of the Middle East Africa region, at the same time, develop potential 5G opportunities that are growing exponentially in Europe and the US. I go back to my first point, which is really understand your local market and your local sector, understand what the consumers are going to require on the technology forefront in these markets, but at the same time, don't lose sight of where you want your manufacturing and your roadmaps and your technology to go if you do have the willingness and the patience and the backbone to look at opportunities in other parts of the world on the technology sector, which we have started doing. And like I said, I believe made in Africa on the technology sector is something that we have not as manufacturing companies in general. We need to focus on that, and we need to be able to leverage the Made in Africa section, because today a number of customers around the world who we have been speaking to are very open to the discussion due to the past couple of years of COVID situation, chipset situation, manufacturing situation, trade war situation, freight cost situation. They are very, very open to the discussion that we're having with them to be able to manufacture technology in Africa, for Africa, but also for export to other parts of the world. And as we were talking about the products that are being made in Africa, for Africa and for the rest of the world, this is actually the device that we are making in Africa.